ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Where my mom's at? Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at? Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at?
Where My Mom's At podcast with Christina P.
Listen up, mommies. I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia at the Vogue Theatre, February 16th. I added a show in Seattle at the Neptune, February 17th. An early show for the parents out there, because no one's awake at 10 p.m. That's in my audience. Palace of Fine Arts, Man Friend Disco, February 18th. And then the Gramercy Theatre, I added a show in Judork Titties, an early show as well for you civilized people. And then I go to the Ridgefield Playhouse the next day in Ridgefield. Come Neticunt, ChristinaPOnline.com for tickets. Also, if you haven't already, buy my lipstick. ChristinaPOnline.com. Let's go to our guest. I love him so much. Gareth Reynolds is here. Whoop, whoop. He has a new podcast called We're Here to Help with Jake Johnson. And he also has a podcast called The Dollop. And you know what I like about you most?
What?
Your mom's from England.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's little to do with
you
me. Yeah, no. Oh,
the King. I was there Coronation Week. I'm a huge fan.
You were a huge fan of the King?
Not of him,
okay.
but of the monarchy. I like the monarchy.
Yeah, okay.
What does your mom think about them?
It's a subject we don't talk about much because she loves them.
And you're not into them.
Well, I a lot of times will posit the question, what do they do? And that seems to spark a whole thing. Oh, see, you're on a throne. Of course you don't like it. Leave subject.
Can I tell you truly what I do think the function of monarchy is now, and now that we don't have that in the United States, there needs to be some cultural unifier. And especially when the Queen was alive, she did a lovely job of unifying the heart of people. Like right now, it's like, who do we listen to? We don't even have a valid news source. It's just a bunch of little maniacs online, like there's no Dan Rather anymore. There's no credible person. No. Like, who can we turn to?
No, that is very true. I think I grew up and I did like it. There was something.
Well, when you're a child.
When you're a child, yeah. 'Cause there's still something about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like to. I mean, I have a magnet on my fridge. I have a bunch of shit that. I'm like, how did this get here? But it's still. I have a Prince Charles plate, but
I've got them all. I buy them from
my mother would be a great guest. My mother would. It wouldn't be funny.
You know what?
But you would just be like, yeah.
You had this video of her where the two of you were stealing. Was it potatoes?
Potatoes. She refuses to call it. She calls it gleaning. And I would say 30% of my mother's diet is just walking into a random field and just she just has she'll have asparagus up her sleeve, some sort of vegetable magician. And she took me one day to go and steal potatoes.
Let's see it. We have a video. I pulled it because I wanted people to see. And this is probably why
some of you may or may not know, my mother and her sister often go and take produce from farms. And so today, I'm going on a steal with my mother.
You've been on it?
Well, this is the intro, so I was going to try to cheat it, but...
Oh, I see.
Now you've ruined that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, okay, fine, I already did it. But anyway, here's the footage.
This is great.
Wholesome.
So you guys, is this in England?
Yeah, this is the English countryside where she lives.
Potato gleaning with Pam.
Yeah, and see that she's in her 70s, but she really throws her back in. Yeah.
Cops, be cool.
In the 70s? She's in her 70s?
That's a nice one. Nice size, yeah. Nice size.
We took...
Yeah. We can't carry anymore.
And if you tell anyone, I have to take you out of the equation. I have to kill you.
Look at her. She's so annoyed with you. It's like, whatever. So you can turn it off now because we'll get pulled. 18th century England, gleaning was a legal right for cottagers or landless residents. That's really interesting.
And then it is illegal now.
And it is now.
It is illegal.
So you were breaking the law with your mom.
her. And she the whole time was like, no, it's fine. It's what you do. And I was like, this feels wrong. And then, the guy who edits my stuff, he was like, no, actually, it is not legal. I was like,
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
But we took so many, 15 pounds, my shoulder was separating. I was like, this was comedically fruitful, but I am in genuine pain here.
That's really fun. But don't you, I'm so happy. And what I liked about that clip is that that's so formative when you have a parent who doesn't give a rip.
Oh, yeah.
And it really informs you. I don't know. Did it inform you in a good or bad way?
I think when you're formed, you're like, whatever got me here is good. But like, sort of I was alluding before the show, like my parents got divorced. So I kind of was with my mother for like 4 years, just me and her. And so we really kind of formed the weirdest relationship where it was like best friends, mother, son, sort of this weird version. But yeah, the fact that she's just kind of like a rascally weirdo has made me like who I am, and I like it.
Such a rascally weirdo. So how old were you when your parents divorced?
I was like 13 or 14.
Oh, fuck.
Which was a great time for
You
me.
think?
Yeah, I was like, oh, good, because now everything's the worst. It was really good.
Yeah, I think like, because my parents divorced when I was about 4, and I think like it's almost worse to have a life with your family and then lose it as a teenager. It's so unfair.
No, I was always jealous of kids who were like, my parents got divorced when I was 2. I was like, that's perfect.
Because you never
You don't know. Yeah. See, I knew. And they did the thing too when I was like 7 where they were like, we're separating.
Oh, I hate it.
And they did 7 years of that where I was like, the fuck's going on?
7 years of a separation and then finally.
Then the Band-Aid.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What? Do you know why they split? What was going on?
Well, my father basically, they had a conversation about where they were at. Again, I'm getting 2 sides, so I've kind of like melded it. But there was a conversation and maybe some non-clarity in that, and my father had sort of started a new relationship that we didn't really know was going on, and so he tried to shield it, and then that got found out, and that just kind of blew up in this whole weird thing, and then so like he started a new family pretty quickly.
Holy shit.
So we gleaned his yard
can I
to
tell you
shit.
something?
We stole everything.
You're going to be the biggest comedian ever. Like you've got
well,
all the
it's
makings.
got to happen soon. I mean, really, what is taking so fucking long?
It's like the DNA of a comic.
It is like I'm like lab generated meat. Like
you no hope to become an accountant or a lawyer, anything remotely.
No. It was pure like, how do I throw sadness in a sail and like get this thing moving? And then it was like, and then it was also like I'd craved the nuclear family, but I never got it. And then like when I finally went over to my dad's house to be like, all right, let's see what's going on. It was like pictures on the wall of like the kids like, we're chimney sweeps. And I was like, this is all I wanted was chimney sweep pictures with my family.
Doesn't it, and I've read this before, that divorce to a child is like a death.
Yeah.
And when the parent remarries and has a child with someone else, it's an ultimate betrayal.
I think even if I totally like, I think the way that it like played out was like, I don't, in retrospect, begrudge my father for really what he did. But at the time, I had no other option than to be like, I'm blowing this all up.
Hell yeah, dude.
And my mother and I, like, it sounds crazy because it is. But we like started smoking cigarettes in the house.
I love it.
Like when I was like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Like we were just kind of like, fuck it. Let's just no rules.
Yeah.
We'd just be sitting there
well,
like.
You were in triage. You were going through a major tragedy.
We'd watch our shows and just be like gritting it out and just.
You watched your shows?
Yeah.
What were your shows?
We would watch like sitcoms. We would watch like old sitcoms. Oh my, don't even. How dare you?
Told you, I'm
Coronation
an Anglophile.
Street.
Coronation Street. Come on.
I visited the set.
You did.
Not to set drop.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been there. I've seen the disgusting little British setup where you're like, that's it? Like your setup?
Yeah.
80 times better than Coronation Street, which has been on for 90 years.
It's a garbage show.
It is trash.
So this is amazing. So 14, your father is a fucking ultimate betrayer. I can't imagine your mother is handling that well because that is just utterly gutting, as they say.
It was, and she took it hard. We were like drinking and smoking and partying and so it was real weird. I remember when my mother asked me to bum a cigarette. And I remember when my mother and my aunt were like, do you have any weed? And I was like, I was like 16. I was like, this is absolutely.
It's like Patsy and Adina.
Yeah, it
You're
really
like
was.
The normal child, the daughter who was raising them.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So it was totally crazy. And like you're saying, it was like stop it.
So
I love
traumatic.
I love how you feel this. No, really.
Because I feel it because I went, comedians have, you don't become a comedian because everything was hunky-dory growing up.
Sometimes you meet one and you're like, leave our industry.
Yeah.
Now. Get out. You had support? What do you talk about on stage? Where does it come from?
Fuck off. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So your mother's sister comes into the picture too now? Is that what you said?
Well, she was visiting, and then there was just one time where they asked if they could smoke weed.
Amazing.
And I was like, yeah, and I got them way too high.
I
was so excited, and then they both like tripped, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
And they were, my mother. Too high. My mother, I walked into the living room. My mother was on the couch talking to herself.
I love it.
And she goes, I've never felt so awful. I was like, oh, God. She was like, will it end? I was like, it will. It was supposed to be a good time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 18 years old rolls around. What do you do with yourself?
So I go to college. I go to Emerson in
you.
Boston. I barely got it together to go.
You're smart.
No. It's kindergarten, college.
That's like a top tier.
For the arts. I was giving a report on weather my sophomore year, like tornadoes. And I was like, this shouldn't be what a nearly 20-year-old man is doing.
You're smart.
When it comes to tornadoes, I can really break them down. Christina, it's hot air and cold air kind of mix.
Oh, God.
And it just fucks the clouds up a bunch.
So you go to school, you go away to Boston. So where were they living in Milwaukee? Your mother and
father, separate.
So you were like, fuck right off. I'm getting out. I'm going all the way to Boston. I'm going to start my own life.
Yep. I'd started doing improv in high school.
Oh,
and
wow.
I found like
Good
a
for
scene
you.
in Milwaukee that was really like a great home. And then I went to Boston and just right away, I went for theater, which has paid off great, like we were saying. Really coming very handy.
Philosophy degree, even more useful.
I mean,
A couple of fucking losers here.
When I was like doing Taco Bell auditions, I was like, what's this guy's deal? Like, what are his roots? They were like, hold the taquito. But I went there and then I really found like sketch comedy. And that was where I really started getting into like comedy and writing things and performing a lot more. And like I said, the actual like classes were just a joke, but it really was. The scene was incredible.
Yeah, it's
It
so
was
nice
like-
when you find your tribe.
And I did. I right away was like, there's something here. This is what I want to do.
So when do we murder your dad?
Well, we love my dad.
we?
Yeah,
Do
we
we
do.
really,
We do.
Gareth?
My
I
dad,
don't
my
love
father is, but he's the sweetest. My father,
I don't like him.
I love him, and he is the sweetest. Their marriage was just horrible.
But then to start a whole new family,
Well,
I feel like it's not cool.
It was, the
like-
timing wasn't great.
Yeah, could you not? And how many siblings did you have from that?
3.
Get the fuck. So this fucking guy. So hold on. Sorry, I'm getting mad for you, Gareth, because you're not.
No.
He starts a new family and then
Yeah.
he makes 3 new kids, which he
Yeah.
could have done with
beautiful
the
ones,
first
too.
wife. Like, why not with your mom? You know what I mean? I have to tell you, as a person now with kids,
Yes.
the thought of doing that is inconceivable.
I
I would rather I'd die before I have some. Sorry, I'm very judgmental.
No,
I know
I wanted
Gareth,
to die.
I'm not a good person.
No, you're a great person.
Okay, so go ahead.
And
So you
said, I
forgive
get
him.
your point. You kind of like, they were both making wild decisions. Like being around those two,
Like what? What are they doing that was so crazy?
there was
Were they
just-
swingers? Was there polyamory?
We were all swingers back then. I was kid swinging. I was tire swinging, they call it. No, I was like, there was just constant arguing. Like they should not have been together.
Sure.
My father ended up leaving and then he'd kind of come back and they would kind of be on again, off again. At one point he was living in a duplex with a set of identical twins above him. And I'd go there and it was like opening, like in the 80s when like the cop opens his fridge and he's like, baking soda and a Corona. That's it. Like that was like, I opened my dad's fridge and I was
Yeah.
like, are you okay? Like,
yeah, and a can of condensed milk.
yeah,
That was
like
my
milk.
dad's,
Yeah, and he'd be like, "What do you
"Ugh."
want? Some Tabasco or milk?" And I'd be like, "I should probably go to my real house. That'd be way better." And so they just were not right, and they kind of, probably for my sake, were trying to make it work forever. And then I think they both were kind of like diverting off of
Was he
whatever.
American?
No, English too.
Really?
Yeah, so he
I'm
split
so
his life.
disappointed.
He sounds South African now.
Yeah.
Because he split his life.
Why does he sound
Because
South
he's
African?
been in half his life was in England and half his life was here. So you talk to him and he's just like, "Well, we're off to the Blood Diamond." And you're like, "Dad, that makes no sense." But yeah, so like, it was definitely traumatic to see a new family.
Oh my God.
And to be living with my mother, who
Oh my
like
God.
we were both just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, you guys were doing your Grey Gardens. You were just
Yeah.
like trying to fuck.
That is Gareth. Yeah, that is truly what it was like. It was just two
Well,
people.
I like to wear a skirt on a smart day like today.
We've got raccoons again, Mum. Well, shall we feed them some Cheez-Its? What you reckon? Yeah, it was literally like sad and weird, but
that's
great.
what happens when divorce. Like I remember, I have very few memories, but you know, my dad decided, like, we landed in California, basically from Windsor, Canada, which was a dump, Ontario.
Yeah.
And my dad we landed and basically it was like, I'm ready to party.
Yeah.
My mom was like, but what about the family we made? And he's like, later, fuckers.
Do you identify with that at
terrible.
all now?
No.
You not at all.
And in fact, it is more atrocious now.
Yeah.
Seeing the behavior as like, then again, look, I had children when I was a fully formed adult.
Which matters.
Different.
Yes. My parents were like 19 when they were like
Samesies.
together.
They got married.
Which is just crazy to be like, this is good for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Think
what they
about
did.
that.
Insane. I'm still not ready.
How old are you now?
20.
Let's talk about you.
No, I'm 44.
25.
Just turned 44.
What?
Yeah.
You look amazing.
Don't tell anyone because I'm still trying to be like, I'm an up and coming.
What are you
I still want to make one of
doing?
those vulture lists.
Dude, you look.
Where they're like up and coming.
You will. You
I
look
won't.
20.
They'll
You
find
do look 20 something.
Stop it.
Is it the cats?
It is cats.
Are you eating?
It's
Are you drinking cat urine? Because
It's a
I hear that it's
fur-based
very
diet,
good.
and it's very good. I fill myself with fur. Sometimes I barf it up in little weird hairy chunks. Looks like belly matzah.
I love you. You're
I
sweet.
love you.
I want you to marry somebody. Do you want to get married, or are you so averse to it because of what you saw?
That has not. Therapists have told me that I guess that caused trauma. I'm not sure what they're talking about. That's why I don't go back. No, it definitely. You know, when you see the worst example, you're like, it's probably not a good call. So I definitely am open to it, but I'm very like, I want to be 100,000% that this is good to go.
As you should.
Yeah.
I mean, you were traumatized enough.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Did you? I mean, you must have felt for sure.
With Tom?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Not at all?
I don't know. See, that's the thing.
Did you not? But you kind of take a small leap where you go,
Yes.
very likely.
Very likely.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you're ever 100% certain about anything in life other than like, I really want to buy this sweater.
Yeah.
Really.
Which is a good call.
It's
by
a
the way.
jumper.
It's great.
But thank you.
Lovely top.
Thank you, darling. But with people or the decision to have children, I don't know that you're ever
See, that to me is insane.
It
That
is
I couldn't
insane.
do. I could not do that.
Gareth, because it is so traumatic to have kids when you've had a history of severe weird stuff. Because then you're like, oh my God, like my son's going to turn 8, Ellis. And what happens is you go, what was happening to me at 8? Oh yeah, my dad was taking me to bars and nightclubs on school nights. I was dancing with sailors. He was sleeping with this chick and then that chick. And you know, and you go through the Rolodex of trauma and you relive it.
It's a low bar, which is nice. In a way, right? You're like, man, listen, I mean, I'm holding it, which is a really good start. He's never danced with a sailor, which I like. Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's bad.
It's so terrible. I mean, it's so hard to trust and to really be vulnerable with people because you're like, look, I still struggle with that. Believe it or not, even after being with Tom for 20 years, there are still moments where I'm like, oh, I'm still kind of holding back here, or like,
that's crazy.
Do I really open up? Are we really being open? And,
that's part. I think I need to be catered to, like anyone, but I have things where I need to be catered to in ways that are like weird.
Like what?
Like I think I can be very quick. Like if someone is like, I think I can be triggered by like, oh, there was this guy and he did that. I can be like, oh, cool. Well,
Murder.
good luck with him.
Sames.
You know,
Oh,
like
I'm the
I can do
worst.
that real easy. I bet it is very difficult. I mean, with two traveling.
No.
No.
Can I tell you why we work on? And I now after years of therapy, okay, like we're both avoidant as shit or anxious, avoidant, anxious, and I can say inappropriate things to him because he's a comedian. Like for instance, if he's texting somebody just in bed, I'll be like, "Who the fuck are you texting?
Yeah.
Is it a girl?" Like, and I'm just crazy. I'm just kind of half joking.
Yeah. I'll do that. That's what I'll do. Gives you like the 1 foot in each side. Where a joke's a joke.
I'm just kidding.
Now let me look at it.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Yes, and give me the fucking phone. It's a joke. I'm joshing. Who is he? I'm seriously, get out. I love you. Stop.
Get away. Come back.
You ever watched Who's Line? That's a lot of this. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
But
like that.
the good news is because he's a comic, we've literally had arguments where we can say anything and be like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Oh yeah, I want to drown you in the river right now. I want to fucking tear your head off and shit down your neck, you
That's
fuck.
great.
And then we're like,
I love you.
Yeah.
You
And
start
that's
plugging
why
your
we're-
dates to each other. We added a second show at the Neptune time. Yeah.
you know what's funny is we don't that dynamic, because I think that's what people assume is we're just one-upping and like shucky-duckying.
Yeah.
It's so not that vibe.
Would
It's
it be
the
though
opposite.
because you're both wildly successful? It would
Well,
probably be
he's
different.
a lot more than me, but thank you. You're
Well,
sweet.
I would.
He gets to work a little harder, 'cause
It's
he
always
doesn't
like that.
Watch children. So what? No one's better.
We'll be right back.
Sorry,
We'll
wait.
be right back.
Right. But I think it would be hard if the man was not successful and the woman's super successful.
Yes.
Sorry, I know that's not politically correct.
I will gladly co-sign that.
So you're a sensitive cat guy. You
Yeah.
live in LA.
Yep.
I wanna find love for you.
Well, I mean,
What do
his
you
name
like?
is Jose. I like about a 10-pounder tuxedo, purr, loves a from a woman. Tell you, my cat. I'm open to felines. I don't know. I mean, I guess just sweet, funny, but not like hilarious. Pretty funny.
You don't want her to be a comic because then you're competing.
No, not a comic.
No.
No, never.
Either-
I have very few rules. That is a rule.
Well, because either you have to start together, like Tom
Yeah.
and I were both open micers,
Yes.
and then we grew up together.
I could.
You can't be here and that's not fair.
I don't even know if I could, because I have dated comedians, and I've been I think the thing was, I was like, I can only focus on my crazy little world
Yeah.
career that's a nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
I can't also be like, all right, let's fix yours. So that to me has always been like a thing.
So you're a girl that's a little self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Maybe she's
Yes.
got her own
Independence.
her own potato gleaning business that she's doing.
Yeah, but she's open to gleaning with my mother. Big shoulders for satchels. She's got to have those satchel arms. You know what I mean? A 10-pounder on each side.
Yeah,
That
dog.
potato.
I think you have to move to
Potato
Texas
chest.
because you'll find normal people here.
I'll tell you, after being here last night, I was like, this place is so good.
Are you gonna move here?
I don't think I can, but
Why?
it's just because my podcasts are in LA, and
That sucks.
but it is. I was like, holy shit.
Have your homie move out here. Have Jake move out here.
Jake will not do that.
Come on.
Neither will Dave. I have two comedy husbands, and neither will make the move. That's what I've done. I've married podcast people.
You could live here and then fly home to LA.
It
or
is
fly
so
back.
good. You love it.
I love it.
The scene. I went to the mothership last night for the
It's
first time, and I was like, okay.
Can I tell you what I love most is there is a real sense of community here,
Yeah.
especially in the comedy world.
Yeah.
I think in LA there's like the Comedy Store, and even that used to be hostile. It's not so much anymore. But like there's no, I didn't feel a sense of community as I do here.
I feel that.
And this is a smaller
Yep.
setup. You can actually have a quality of life. Like LA, I sat in traffic every day for
Yeah.
3 hours, and you're just like, that's normal. It's my
For
normal.
like a 10-minute set, and you're like, cool.
Yeah. See you later.
And it didn't go great. All right. This worked out. I should probably call my parents and be like, why'd you kill my insides? Yeah. Yeah, no, I really last night was like, holy shit.
I think you should.
If it was from a pure stand-up perspective, I wouldn't a heartbeat.
It's so good.
So
and
good.
it's free because there's not a lot of the political correctness police out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You can say things. And I think the Austinites have a really good sense of what the line is.
Yeah.
You know, they're down, but they're not going to laugh if you're a hateful cunt, obviously, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Anyway, I just want you to find like a normal Texas girl because LA is full of actresses. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
dealing with like actors.
No, that's another one I won't do.
Oh.
I've made the mistake where I'm like, that's a rule. But then I'm like, well, she seems normal. Yeah. Never.
Why are they so weird?
I think the same reasons we're talking about. It's like I don't know what it is. It's something about like wanting to pretend to be other people.
Yeah.
That like kind of probably comes from some sort of escapism when you're younger.
Yeah.
Like that's what I went to because when I went to theater school, like they were always like, Jesus Christ, this guy can cry real easy. And I was like, but crying's the easy part. Fake sneezing's difficult, y'all. You know, they were like, what? Because it was just like you could tap into like that
the
negativity, in the core
sadness.
so easily. But so I think there's some like a good actress is probably the scariest. There are some.
Well, I do like the Sopranos kids who have their show here.
Yeah,
Not
great
Today,
show.
Pal.
Yeah.
They're both so down to earth, but Rob and Jamie always tell me it's because they didn't know how popular they were because they were in New Jersey. They weren't in LA. They weren't.
And they went into one thing.
Yeah.
They didn't have to go through that like horrendous. Like the rejection level,
Oh my God.
like we were saying, is like,
Well, and here's what's insidious about acting, because I did try initially when I came back to LA after college, was like the idea of you being chosen
yeah,
by a casting person is so fucking evil and gutting.
yeah,
And 9 times out of 10, they've already know they're just
Oh,
they're
yeah.
doing it for legal reasons. They
Yes,
know
truly.
who they're casting.
there's a guy, they've already picked him, and they're like, bring in Gareth.
Yeah.
He's a loser. He'll show up. He'll have highlighted scripts.
Right.
Yeah, he'll walk.
try.
He'll walk 2 miles and be like, no, it's fine. Yeah. Then there's a lot of us.
Well, especially in the sitcom world, little, secret industry intel here is like you start acting as a 2 or 3 year old usually in this business, and then they already know there's only like 10 actors that they put into everything.
Yep.
And you might get like the line,
Yeah.
the pizza guy.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, pizza's
Yeah.
here. And then that's your thing.
Yeah. Are we doing 2 takes or what's going? Just the one? That's interesting. I don't even think I was in the shot. All right. Cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
the industry, like you have to start at like an infant to get in.
Well, I also
so
like
rough.
it was so like when you were doing like commercials was how you kind of sustained yourself, and you would
Oh
go to
my
like
God.
the way that they treat you as a like
It's the worst.
it's real bad, and then you'd book it. I remember one time I booked one, and they were like, he looks chubby but not as chubby, and I was like, I'm a human with feelings under these love handles, like they just really would make you feel
Yeah.
so
shitty.
so shitty. But that was why I like moved away from that.
Right.
And just was like, I'm gonna just start doing stand-up.
Well, stand up, the rejection is so immediate by the audience.
And based
And pure.
on it's pure. Like you don't dilute yourself with stand-up. You're like, oh, that sucked. They all
Yeah.
decided it sucked.
Yes.
Or you're like, oh, I'm winning. They all decided it's funny.
Yes.
And I think that is so much better than having some random person, like we're saying, just be like, nah,
Nah.
not you.
Nah.
Move.
And also, too, I do love that stand up transcends what you can look like.
Yes.
You can be fat, you can be
Totally.
whatever color, you can be a woman, you can be whatever,
Yep.
gay, trans, if you're funny.
Yep, doesn't matter.
They're into you.
Yeah.
And the more defective you are, the more they like you. Whereas with acting,
I'm getting an arm taken off. That's why whole new hour.
oh my God. By the way, that's kind of going to be your
Armed and
in.
dangerous, I'm calling it. You hear that?
Well, because I feel like trans is so out and the
Yeah.
pronoun thing is out, but
Yeah.
we haven't done the ableist comedy.
Yeah.
And I feel like it could be the first.
I'm dropping an arm.
Oh my God. And you could be like, oh, Netflix, you don't want my special? Is it because you're ableist?
How many one-armed specials have you released, Netflix? Let's talk about that. Armed and dangerous.
I love
Yeah, and then it's on there. It's horrible.
the Gareth Reynolds.
Yeah, I start talking. I had an arm removed to get a Netflix special. People are like, very unrelatable. Not loving this man at all. Really struggled to get the mic out of the stand, too. It took him like 35 minutes. That was half the
kind of
special.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny. And you just yell at them for
Yeah.
not having a special thing for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Clapping at me? Oh, how rude. Good golly. It's disgusting.
Have you seen this thing now on TikTok where fatzos are demanding that the airlines accommodate their fatness for
No,
free?
no.
Yeah. There's people that are like,
Ugh.
we played on your mom's house where she's like, I'm a plus sized traveler. They always have to talk like that too. And
I did see this,
Southwest,
yes.
now gives us 2 seats instead of 1 and allows me pre-boarding. And I'm like, how?
I know.
What?
It's crazy. It's like
That's so
I mean, there's just
weird.
no rules on the flights anymore, so it does make sense in a way.
Oh, people are garbage. They show up in
It's-
their pajama bottoms and slippers.
You
and
probably shouldn't see me fly. No,
Is that how you fly?
I definitely fly in pajama pants. I definitely have decided I'm not going to meet
Gareth.
my wife on the plane or near the airport. Yeah, no way. I'll even
Wow.
neck pillow around like I'm
Oh,
like
I've
a
done that.
hustling attorney.
I've done that.
Like with a neck brace. Like
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'm definitely like
Yeah.
and then sometimes I'll see like a hot woman get on a plane. I'll be like, oh, I hope she doesn't sit next to me because this is good. She'll be like, you have like tomato seeds on your shirt. Be like, how are you? I pee a lot. I get up a lot, but I still requested window. You seem very
Oh my
cool
God.
though.
How mortifying is it to get up like the second or third time for your pee when you're
Awful.
sitting in the window?
You're dying.
Oh my
I'll
God.
sit there dying over, be like, I don't want this man I'll never see again to hate me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to think about
Like
that.
I'll have piss coming down my leg. I'll be like, as long as he's happy. My trauma is his happiness. Yeah. Again, back to father.
People don't care. Like they'll
No.
just get up again. They're like, oh, great, another chance for me to get up. It's
Yeah.
totally fine.
Yeah. Or then if your
God.
window, you wait for the middle, and the middle one, you're like, well, she's up. I'll probably.
Oh,
We'll just make it a train if that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah. But then she gets back before you. I'm like, now I gotta get them both up. You guys knew this was coming. There was an empty seat. Don't act so put out.
Oh my God. I saw a woman get up as the plane was landing, like an older woman.
I love it.
Get into the toilet stall, the bathroom stall, and then stay there until we landed and taxied. And I'm like, you took your shit at the very end of a flight?
And stayed.
How bold. I'd be so embarrassed.
Oh my God.
I'd hold it.
She must have really been like,
She was in pain.
this
has to come out of me.
Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah. No, I love it. I hate flying, but I also love the insanity of watching people at their worst. So I do not dress for the occasion. I think of how can I get through security fastest.
Samesies.
Yeah. And
I only carry on. I mean, I should actually do a TikTok of like comedian hot tips.
You should.
Of just, this is how you should travel. Don't fuck around. Here's what we do.
Well, and like the status I feel is a TSA pre-checker where I'm like,
I feel like everyone's got that now.
I know.
Even the clear. I mean, that one, like,
I'm not going to give
on.
up my retina, but they definitely feel like they're better than me.
They do.
Oh, yeah, because they're like, excuse me, clear's coming through. And you're like, I used to be that. We used to be the clear people.
Just spend the $100. You deserve it.
I don't want to give them my retina.
I know. I know.
It's coming, but I don't want to give them my retina.
I know.
I'm dragging and screaming, giving my eyeball.
I feel like an idiot every time they're like, we're taking pictures of your eyes.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I know.
Just so I can get faster.
I know, but the downside is
So
that
good.
we got Christina's eyeball.
Yeah.
Move.
They already do, though.
I know. That's the other thing.
This fucking thing
Yep.
is looking at you.
I don't do the
takes
Face
pictures.
ID one, though. I won't do. I'm very like, again,
Now
it's
it
really
makes sense.
stupid.
That's why he's single.
It's really.
Cat guys.
I'm like, don't look me in the eyes, sweetheart. I know who
Sus.
you work for.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
You know what I realize, though, is sometimes when I'm flying and I see all the sad men, because it's mostly sad men that fly alone.
We're people too. We're people too. You see us with our cat fur on? Hello. I pee a lot. Sorry if I smell like litter poop.
But not always. Sometimes if I'm in the mood, I'll just talk to a man
Will you?
on the plane, and they're just so grateful that any
But I bet
woman-
they don't notice your wedding ring for a little bit. And then
Oh,
they're
I
like,
don't care. I mean,
yeah,
I'm telling them. I'm
but that's why they're like,
married.
yeah, oh, you do? Yeah, if you bring it up
Yeah.
early, yeah.
Yeah, but just to, and then you see how sad they are, and their wives hate them, and they're bald and fat and old, and they've been traveling. And this guy's a million mile, and it's depressing as
Yes.
shit if you are. You don't
Yes.
want to be that guy.
No.
And you're just like, and I was like, God, if I were a single woman.
Hi, Tina. Can I get another bloody?
Yeah,
like
at
that
6
sort of
a.m..
shit. Yeah.
But if I were single and I was looking for my second husband, buy a ticket in first class
Yeah.
and just talk to those sad fucks.
Yeah.
I would do it. In a minute.
I'd fall for it. If
Yeah.
a woman was like nice to me the way I looked flying, I'd be like, I love you.
I love you.
I love you so much. Are you TSA pre? Like clear. Oh, we're like Montagues and Capulets, but this can work. We can figure it out, babe. Yeah.
See, that was so smart. I think only Chad laughed at that one. Like,
That's all right.
He
It's not
knows
for
the
everybody.
reference. Smart
Yeah.
Chad knows.
Yeah.
He's a cat guy too. How many cats do you have, Chad?
Just the one, but
Nice.
she's the best.
You guys all have
Monogamy.
one cat, right? All three of you?
No, I don't have a cat.
Oh, that's right. You used to have a
Jesus.
cat.
A lot of attitude.
That was in the
too.
past. But Josh has a kitten. How's the kitten?
Not a kitten anymore. Grew up, but yeah, she's good.
This man's got 3 cats.
Well, my girlfriend had 2 cats, so now we technically have 3. It's a lot.
Yeah, you
Too
definitely
many.
have 3. Yeah.
You're deep in it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a real
tough.
cat guy.
I know.
Who's cleaning the litter box?
Not me.
Wow,
that.
that's like you can tell if you were a parent, you wouldn't change the diaper by that behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, men don't do a fucking thing.
I clean.
Sorry.
Every day I
you
clean.
might, because you had a bad dad. But
Every time I clean the litter, I'm like, thanks, Dad. It was worth it.
Thanks for making me.
a conscientious adult.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gareth, I love you. Thank you for coming to Austin. I'm
Thank
glad you
you.
had fun here. I do hope you move here. I think we could use your whole vibe, your energy. We need single cat guys. Cat guys are, by the way, I think the nicest. They're not going to rip you. I don't think
No.
Cosby had cats. I don't think, did Dalia have? Dalia doesn't have cats. They never have
I
cats.
certainly didn't pet him.
Haven't confirmed. Yeah.
He would only have kittens. Turned out, and they had to get tattoos on their little necks. Is what I
He
read.
shapes them down.
Yeah,
and
he
gives them
shapes.
cats.
Yeah.
God, the
And then they were
tattoo.
cats, and he'd throw them out. Get out of here.
God damn.
Yeah.
No, I don't think any other have cats. So
I feel comfortable with that generalization.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's good to be among the non-cat papas. We're a great group. So
non-cat papas.
No.
Oh, that's cool. That's another special.
my Twitter handle. You can follow me at cat papas.
Well, thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you.
We're here to help with Jake Johnson and the Dollop. You can find Gareth Reynolds on Instagram. What's your Instagram, homie?
At Reynolds Gareth on everything. And my website's GarethReynolds.com. I'm touring way too much.
Yeah, what are you doing? Where are you going to be? Let people know. It's the beginning
I'll
of the year.
be in North Carolina, Rutherford, New Jersey, and then in February and March, I'll be fucking everywhere. Actually, I'll be in Austin for a minute, too.
Hey,
in
well,
April or something.
Come back in here when you're
Great.
here. Please do.
Party.
I would love to. Yeah, we'll put you on some other shows. You should do the other guys, too. It'd be fun.
Party.
All
I'm
right.
into it.
I love you.
I love you. Thank you.
Okay, guys, subscribe to the show, blah, blah, blah. I like you. Until next time, stay cool, moms. Bye. Hi, Mommy. Thank you for watching that episode. Did you like what you see? I hope you did. So why don't you subscribe? Just click the subscribe button and, hit the notification bell so you can get notified. And also, why don't you watch another video? Watch one of these. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, down there, whatever. There's so much stuff, bro. I make these all the time for you to watch. That's why I'm here. I love you.